India has rolled out a massive repatriation operation for Indians stranded by the coronavirus pandemic all across the world. It's one of the largest and most complicated missions to give Indians a chance to be brought back home in their thousands. The total number will finally be in excess of 14,000 Indians who are stranded in different parts of the world due to the coronavirus-triggered lockdown. Over a week from now, from the Gulf countries to the United Kingdom to the US, starting today, this multi-agency operation that's been christened Vande Bharat mission will see state-owned airline and non-scheduled commercial flights operate till the 13th of May to ferry around 15,000 Indians stranded in 12 different countries. 3 Indian naval warships will also bring back around 2,000 Indians, including from the Gulf and from Maldives. As of today, a total of 2,300 passengers will be brought back on flights and on ships. These are the very latest images that we're getting to you from the Maldives and elsewhere of Indian citizens boarding their flights, getting onto those ships, and finally making their way home after over 45 days in lockdown, stranded in those countries. According to estimates, around 1.4 crore Indians are staying in various parts of the world, and this mission will bring 15,000 of them back home. Now I want to tell you just how complicated and how large this entire operation actually is. This involves 64 separate flights till the 13th of May, like I said, 64 flights at a time when commercial flights are not taking place. Air India will conduct 64 non-stop commercial flights. Out of these 64 flights, the national carrier Air India will conduct 40 flights, while Air India Express will conduct 24 flights. A total of 14,800 Indians will be evacuated in this entire evacuation operation, and that's just the flight portion of it. Now let me tell you about what the Indian Navy is doing. 3 Indian Navy warships, INS Jalashwa, INS Magar and INS Shardul, which are all amphibious ships, have already started evacuating Indians, starting with the Maldives and the UAE. The INS Jalashwa is bringing back around 732 stranded Indians. As we speak, it will be transporting them to Kochi. The boarding is underway, like we showed you in those pictures. The naval ship will be departing Malé in Maldives very soon and will be reaching Kochi as part of the Samudra Setu mission. Another Navy ship, INS Magar, will also reach Maldives on the 10th of May to evacuate a further 700 Indian nationals. INS Shardul will bring back 350 Indians from the United Arab Emirates. These 3 warships will evacuate a total of about 2,000 to 2,500 Indians between the Maldives and the UAE.
का बहुत अच्छा काम करते हैं वो लोग। ऐसा इतना आदमी को देख के उसका अभी लेके जाने का सबका बीमार वाला ऐसा ऐसा वाला है और बहुत अच्छा काम करते हैं। एम्बेसी के लिए हमारे बहुत प्यार करते हैं।
Now I am happy that I can send my wife during this pregnancy time. It is very happy to care the supporters who have helped me. So I am very thank you to the Government of India and also the support workers for the airline booking and also the whoever worked, whoever assisted.
I'm 34 weeks pregnant and my son is 2.5 years. I'm really very glad and thanking Indian Consulate for giving me a chance. And for the India government, like already 34 weeks, I lost my job and if I'm staying here, it was very difficult for me. So I'm very happy and hope everything will be safe.
I'm pregnant, because of that only I am traveling up to 1 week only I can travel, because after that I cannot travel. So I am very lucky to have this opportunity and thank you so much also.
We are very thankful to our government also, High Commission Dhaka, and as well as our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, who arranged such a special flight for we stranded students, and we are very thankful to them. Thank you so much.
तो सबसे पहले मैं शुक्र करना चाहूँगा मिनिस्टर ऑफ एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स का, और जो एम्बेसी है हमारी, उनका शुक्रगुजार है जो हमको इस मुसीबत में भी इवैक्यूएट कर रहे हैं. एंड आई हाईली अप्रिशिएट द एफर्ट दैट दे हैव मेड to evacuate us as soon as possible.
Really proud to be a part of this mission. It's a privilege to be of service for the nation in times of need. I thank Air India Express for giving me this opportunity.
नौसेना का जहाज INS जलश्वा मालदीव्स पहुंच गया है और वहां से लगभग 700 यात्रियों के साथ, जिनमें बच्चे और महिलाएं शामिल हैं, आज रवाना होगा. यह अनुमान है कि 10 मई की रात तक यह कोची पहुंचेगा.
Now, many people will be wondering, why are so many Indians being brought back from all these countries at a time when India's own coronavirus cases are spiking at a very alarming rate? Isn't this going to be a risk to Indians? So I want to reassure you by telling you that there are very stringent standard operating procedures that are being followed for every one of these Indians being brought back, and that the onus is going to be on the states to ensure that they follow them once they arrive back on Indian soil. All the evacuees will have to go through a medical checkup before boarding the flights. Only asymptomatic passengers are allowed to travel. Upon arrival at airports, evacuees will have to register on the Arogya Setu app. Also, they will have to be screened at the airports. 14 days quarantine is a must for the evacuees at government facilities. A COVID test will be done after 14 days, and then further SOPs will be decided based on the test results. I want to take you now through the 10 best images, and viewer, I've been getting beautiful images from the Vande Bharat mission since early this morning. You know, people who've been waiting for over a month to get back home are finally getting the chance to get onto a ship, get onto an Air India aircraft and fly back home. This has been hugely difficult on the Indian diaspora, as it has been on Indian migrants here in the country. We've been bringing you both stories, but here we're telling you about the Vande Bharat mission. Let me take you through the top 10 images that I've handpicked for you to give you a sense of what this mission actually looks like. Well, India has begun its biggest ever evacuation, named the Vande Bharat mission, to bring back these thousands of stranded Indians everywhere in the world. And these are the images coming in from airports in Dhaka, airports in the United States, airports in the United Kingdom, seaports in Maldives, airports in the United Arab Emirates. All of these are pictures from each of those locations. What you're looking at here is a very fine-tuned mission that has been put into action to ensure that every one of these persons is safely brought home. Remember, this is not an evacuation mission, it's a repatriation mission. So the Indians you see here are paying for the ride back home. They've offered money, and what they're basically doing is paying for the chance to leave the countries that they've chosen to work in and return to India amidst the pandemic to be with their family members in different parts of India, notably Kerala, Gujarat, Karnataka, and in other different parts of the country, including Jammu and Kashmir. These are images of the INS Jalashwa warship, which in a very short while from now will be departing from Malé in the Maldives with 700 plus Indians and sailing towards Kochi. Very stringent rules and regulations have been ensured to make absolutely sure that nobody with the virus is on one of these aircraft or one of these ships. I also wanted to show you this very heartening image of a pregnant woman and a little child being taken aboard the INS Jalashwa warship just a short while ago. This is an image from literally about an hour ago. As you can see, that youngest little passenger being carried on board. Also, a pregnant woman was taken on board the ship. They're among the 700 people who've been processed, profiled, and put on board this large Indian Navy warship that, far from hurting anyone, is delivering all of these Indians collected from different islands of the Maldives safely to Kochi, which is about 900 kilometers away across the Indian Ocean. Abhishek Bhalla, defense editor, with us live. Abhishek, a very complicated, very difficult and detailed repatriation mission, which has involved a huge amount of coordination. Air India is involved, aircraft are involved, Indian Navy ships are involved. This is not India's biggest repatriation mission. There have been bigger ones in the past. But nonetheless, this is an extremely complicated one, Abhishek, because it comes during such a pandemic.
That's right, Shiv. This is a massive operation involving various wings of the Indian armed forces as well as civilian authorities. There are Air India aircrafts that are taking people back. There are two warships that are getting people back from the Maldives. In all, there are 14 Indian Navy ships that are on standby that can go to countries in the Indian Ocean region. Not only are they meant to bring back people, but they can also drop relief equipment and relief material to these countries. So it's a massive operation that India has taken up. In the first phase, as far as these naval ships are concerned, from Maldives, 2 of them, 1,000 people will be coming back. INS Jalashwa will set sail in some time from now. It's expected to hit the shores of Kochi, which is 900 kilometers, by the 10th of May. And INS Magar, the other ship which will set sail from the Maldives, is expected to follow later. And in time to come, we'll have several Indians from various countries, 13 countries in all, that will be getting back to India. Quarantine facilities, medical help, all this has to be taken care of. Even on board INS Jalashwa or INS Magar, there are measures being taken to ensure distancing. There is a medical team which will be on board. A massive exercise, Shiv, to ensure Indians stranded abroad get back home as early as possible now.
So just remember, Abhishek, thank you very much for getting us that update. So between now and the 13th of May, this will continue. It's going to be a very, very detailed operation by sea and by air. Remember that this is only about 14,800 Indians who are being brought back. They've paid for the chance to come back to India. 1.4 crore is the total size of the Indian diaspora that lives or works abroad. And there are thousands, remember, who've chosen to remain abroad and who don't want to come back. They want to weather the pandemic and remain where they are in different countries. But there are some who are stranded, especially students, Indian students in different countries who are stranded and haven't had the chance to actually make it back home. And many of them won't be on any of these aircraft or ships. India has begun this huge Vande Bharat mission to bring back stranded Indians from abroad. But students who are stuck in countries, what happens to them? We spoke to some of them.
Lakhs of Indians desperate to come back home breathed a sigh of relief soon as the Indian government announced repatriation plans. India's largest evacuation exercise since the 1990 Gulf War. In the first phase, Air India will operate 64 flights till the 13th of May to ferry around 15,000 Indian nationals from 12 countries. Eventually, about 2 lakh Indians are expected to be brought back in multiple phases until June. As expected, only those in urgent need will be prioritized. The elderly, pregnant women, those requiring medical attention, and those who are stranded in difficult situations will get first preference to board these flights. The repatriation exercise will also focus on students eager to come back home to their families. But where do these students stand in the list of priorities? Or do they stand a chance at all?
India has sent out special flights to evacuate Indians stuck abroad, but where do students feature in the list of priority?
I'm from Gujarat, and there was a flight to Ahmedabad which has been cancelled, and there's no information for students who come from states apart from like Delhi or Maharashtra or Karnataka. So that's one. And the second point is that for a lot of us, it's also a constraint to quarantine ourselves after reaching India in the institutional facilities, which are very, very expensive, and I'm not really sure how students who are on scholarships or who have taken loans and gone are going to be able to afford that kind of money.
In my opinion, it is also a bit expensive for students like us who are kicked out of our accommodation, and we basically cannot afford it. We live paycheck to paycheck, and adding this large amount may not be the most affordable option for most of us.
Basically, there's a major confusion about the phases of evacuation. We haven't been told properly when the students will be allowed to fly back. Okay. We do know that vulnerable people, pregnant women and everyone else, they will be prioritized, but it is creating a lot of anxiety within the students because they don't know. Plus also, it's in the case of only 200 approximately seats will be there for each flight. So there's a lot of chaos and discussion going on who's going to get the seats or how.
Have you got a call from the High Commission? Have you got a call from Air India?
We haven't received any information either from the government or embassy or Air India.
Well, what if you get a chance to come in the first round? Are you willing to come along with all of the others who are in dire emergency?
I'm also very confused because in Mumbai also, I have read on various WhatsApp, like Mumbai is also planning to shut down for a couple of weeks because the number of cases are very high, it's increasing. So I'm also very confused, but sooner or later I wish to come.
Special quarantine facilities are being set up to accommodate those returning to India, expenses of which would be borne by the evacuees. Those who haven't yet made it can look forward to reunite with their loved ones in subsequent evacuation phases. Staying in touch with local embassies is the need of the hour. Nabila Jamal for India Today.
Many people stranded. 14,800 lucky ones will be brought back to India over the next few days. I just wanted to tell you that this isn't the biggest repatriation / evacuation exercise undertaken by the government, but it certainly is one of the most complicated because of the pandemic. Look at this list of other huge evacuation drives that India has embarked on. Back in 1990, 2 lakh people were brought back from Kuwait and Iraq during the Gulf War. In 1996, 60,000 persons were brought back from UAE. In 2006, 14,000 returned from Lebanon. In 2011, 18,000 returned from Libya. 2015, 6,100 returned from Yemen.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.